Now, let's speak to Obenfo Kwesi Jetua, who is the executive director. Thank you very much for your time. Are you in support of the decision of the ministry to find these amount of money for your student, 994 cedis per student? Is that enough?
All right. Good evening, my brother, and to an extension to all your listeners this evening. This is a very strict question. A very long time, private schools have been crying for the free SHS participation. And one will argue that is that the case, that is why 994 Ghana cedis for a whole academic year is earmarked for the private schools. I will say that this is a good step in a sense that even though if you look at the amount quoted, that is to say is a running cost for the participation of the education in the private schools. But there are other, duties within the MOU which was signed today that also bring up another cost in terms of the ministry who is going to be responsible for that. In fact, one of the key things you need to understand is that, my brother, this is a pilot-based program. And with a pilot-based program, our understanding is that we are really understanding how best this whole private school and this whole free senior high school will be able to gel together and be able to deliver quality education to the Ghanaian learners. And for that matter, we were very careful not to, exaggerate or do things that will, by the end of the day, will mar the integrity of the law. Very difficult to control. And so one of the responsibility is that government or the Ministry of Education will be responsible for providing a one hot meal for all the day schools students that have been placed in the private schools. They will also provide textbooks, uniforms, school clothes, supplementary readers, and other approved educational materials by the Ghana Education Service under the Free SHS framework, which even includes this issue of distribution of laptops and tablets and all that. What it means is that there's a whole lot of the educational material costs that the government has taken away from the government, from the private schools, that or from the parents that the government is going to provide. In addition, government is also going to provide an extra amount of 250 Ghana cedis as a cushion that will support the transition period. Perhaps there are gaps within the facilities, more or less the maintenance aspect of the school. The only issue which we have tabled and we are discussing with the ministry, the minister even acknowledged, has to do with the payment of the teachers who are going to work for this. The argument has been that there is a precedent where the government partnered the private hospitals, and the private hospitals were responsible for their employees in terms of who to be appointed, who to be employed, and all that. And government who doesn't want to disturb the employer-employee relationship that exists between a private school owner and the workers as whole. And for that matter, government has left that one to the hands of the private schools to decide. But interestingly, within the MOU, we are free as private schools to be able to charge extra amount of money in terms of areas of necessity which has not been provided for by the government. And so one of the key points is this. So when a school meets the PTA, and for that matter, they all agree that, well, we need the services of these teachers, and this is how much the school will be able to provide and we the parents also, we are topping it up to support the implementation. I don't see it becomes very difficult for cycling to be done. And so this is a good step for us as private schools. We believe that going forward, this is going to span for almost 3 years, within which there are review periods that we have to look at some of the actual implementation and challenges and review them. And so this is a case study for us all as media, private schools to study and find out how best we'll be able to forward forward to resolve this matter. So we are happy with it and we are ready to cooperate with the government. Our parents are also happy and we all will be on the table to come out a proper framework or any framework that will best fit the implementation after the pilot system has been studied. We know
you mentioned sorry to cut you, but then my next question, you mentioned is a pilot, is a pilot project. How many students are benefiting from this private pilot project?
Okay, so we have integrated 70 private schools across the 16 regions in Ghana, and in totality the vacancy that has been declared is 44,000 vacancies that has been declared by the private schools. But as we speak now, government has been able to place 25,000 students in these schools. We are yet to complete the other schools for them to have the vacancies that they have also declared.
So 25,000 students are benefiting for this pilot project.
Yeah, as we speak now, but we believe that there are more to come because the placement system hasn't ended yet. There are others that are on the pipeline which will be posted to some of the private schools that still have vacancies within the 70 private schools that has been allocated.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Executive Director of the Ghana National Council of Private Schools, Nana Kwesi Gentwa. This is Eyewitness News. Coming